this phyllo isn't, I mean, it just happened in so many weird ways. I want to talk about a little bit of just everything. I got to hear from a lot of you this weekend. I got to kind of, relax, take everything in. We got to see the Super Bowl. I think I gave you a phyllo on the Super Bowl a while ago. It's going to come into this, but at the same time now, this was from TD Jakes. So this one isn't as an original as a phyllo, okay? Honestly, it was funny because I was listening to TD Jakes yesterday, and they had a trouble with their YouTube because they don't have people coming to service anymore. And it was funny because there wasn't that many people watching. That's why I was like, I think I'm just going to share my notes with you guys, because he was like, if you're listening to this, you're listening to it for a reason. And I was like, yo, for real. And it's something that is going to apply with a lot of us because we've talked about it. So I'll share it with you. It's kind of me mixing in some of my thoughts, but these are just the notes that I've taken on it. And we're going to pretty much talk about our boy, King David. But oh man, I have so many things. I'm going to bounce back and forth on a couple different things. So bear with me, okay? Bear with me. But, oh man, here's the title. Are you ready? This isn't what he titled everything, but this is one of the main notes I wrote down. And this is what I'm going to discuss, and I'll tell you why. But you guys need to be able, and I wrote this for myself too. I love it, man. It's beautiful. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Just listen to this one. You got to be able to fight off the lion while not killing the lamb. Ooh. Can you fight off the lion while the lamb is still in the lion's mouth? Oh, man. I don't know if you feel me, man. I really don't know if you feel me on this. Okay? Yeah, that blew my mind. That blew my mind. So that's what I want to talk about. And really what we're going to talk about today, man, taking L's. Okay? We really need to talk about taking some L's, but in a very positive way, because I felt something this weekend. I asked you about the dreams, right? Honestly, I think this was a very, very spiritual weekend. I don't know. I think for a lot of people, I think a lot of people took L's this weekend in a very, very weird way. I really do. I think some people did good, and not saying for everybody this may not be for you. But man, it was I say spiritual in that sense, because I'm like, how did this many people hit me up with this? Even myself, I mean, there was good things that happened. There was bad things. I took some big L's as well. I saw situations where everybody took an L. Like, I'm talking, it wasn't just like, zero-sum game where one person wins, one person loses. No, I saw everybody take an L. Like, we're talking, even if there was 3 people, everybody took an L in that situation. I saw people died this weekend. You know that? People emailed me and people passed away. I said some people, they were sending me some stuff. They were going through a lot of things. And I was like, man, I said, God, that is very, very interesting. For real. I was like, wow. I think it's interesting because, like I said, I listened to this and I really think a lot of people need to hear this today. So that's why. And it got me. It even helped me. And I was like, wow, because I had stuff happen, bro. I would literally, even that's why I said dreams. I was like dreaming shit. I would dream good stuff, and then good stuff would happen. I would dream bad shit, and then bad shit would happen. I was like, whoa, God, if you're trying to talk to me, it was trippy, bro. It was trippy. Whew. So I'm telling you, it's wild. So I really do think this was a very, very spiritual weekend in many ways, on many levels too. Even then, I think everybody took an L, man. Even this, like, Tom Brady won again. You know what I'm saying? You thought it wasn't even a good game. It was young guy versus like a rookie pretty much. The game wasn't even close. That's an L. Like, I think on even high levels and low levels, you just saw it was just a weird weekend. But I do not put any negativity on any of you. If you did not experience any of this may not be for you, okay? But I hope you can realize what we're going to talk about here today. It's about moving. That's it. It's just about moving forward. And I think some of you are going to need this. I think it's very, very helpful. in many, many levels. And I like it. I mean, I think, again, like I'm saying, I'm with you guys. I took some L's too. I took some good L's this week. I got some solid blows, and I was like, damn, man. I said, okay, God, run it. Literally, I said, run it. Amen. But this philo we're going to talk about today is David. You guys remember King David, and this is what was talked about. If you don't know David, he went through many stages in his life. And that's the key thing we're talking about here is the stages. Yes, you take an L. All of you are going to take L's, but the question is, where are you with handling it, and what stage now are you in? And I don't think any of you realize when you take an L, that is really, it's a ticket into something new. I really hope you know that. And I know it's hard to believe. Some of you are going to feel it differently. That's why, I say it's very spiritual, because if I wasn't kind of prepared mentally with some stuff, I would have been like, damn, it's hard to accept this sometimes. So I know, and I know I'm speaking to different people in here. Some of you are going to take this more, you could agree a little bit more. Some of you, it's going to be a little bit harder because you're like, I don't know, man. That's hard. That's hard. So it's all about the stages, man. And really, it's about taking these L's to get to the next level. That's it. That's really what it was, and that is what we saw with David, but it explains stuff in his life. Like, honestly, I hope some of you know that when you come in, like, this is why. I mean, I don't know why bad things happen. I really don't. I can't explain it to you, man. I'm sorry. I wish I could. But I hope you know that when you come into what you're going towards, right? You're setting a goal. You're setting a stage. I hope you know it's going to be because you kind of earned your right, more or less, to go through it. Essentially, this is what Bishop Jake said. He said, this is your right to passage. And I said, whoa, that makes a lot of sense. And I hope a lot of you could understand that, because when you make it to where you're wanting to go, I hope you know it's not because you got lucky. You see what I'm saying? You didn't get lucky. You lost. You took an L, but then you learned how to get to where you were trying to go. Do you feel me on that? Do you see what I'm saying? This is one level. It's a right to passage. You're going to be more or less entitled to the success mentally, physically, financially, all of that. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Because some of us, we experience these lows, we experience these losses, all of that stuff. And some people are like, why did this happen? Why did this happen to me? Why was it like this? Why was it like that? But I hope you know that it's maturing you. But this is part of it, honestly. This is where it comes into David in that one line that stuck out a lot. Can you get hit and keep fighting? Can you get scathed and keep fighting? Can you take a loss and keep going? Can you be able to fight if your arm is bleeding, is what I'm asking you. Or some of you, if you scrape your knee, some of you get out of the game. But that's what the question is. And honestly, this is with David, and this is what I'm saying. When you go through these lessons in life, these losses, everything, we've had good weekends, we've had bad weekends. It happens. And yeah, I know you're tired. We talked about that last week. But the question is, do you have the character of a king? Of the king? Some of y'all queens, it's the same thing. Think about that. You have the skill, you have the knowledge, you have everything. But do you have the finesse? That's what it was. Do you see that's what it's asking? The finesse of the king. Because that's what David did. That's where this came up from. It was explaining the different battles of David. How he went from fighting Goliath to then fighting all different nations and all of this. At one point, before he fought Goliath, he was fighting lions protecting sheep. But that's what I'm asking. If you have the finesse, do you have the ability to kill the lion without killing the lamb? That's what I'm asking you. Do you see? It's amazing. Because once he learned how to kill the lion without killing the lamb, he learned how to defeat the giant. After he defeated the giant, again, he was only there to serve his brothers. Then he feeds the giant. Then he feeds his brothers, gets the opportunity, takes advantage of the opportunity. He moves into the next level. What happens after that? He then begins to lead other nations. David became a killer. He went from one level. It's one thing to protect sheep. That's one level. It's one thing to kill the giant. That's another level. It's another level to start becoming one of the most feared men in that time frame. It's different levels. At every single level, he did have to face challenges. We've even gone through some of this stuff that David's done. So this is what I'm trying to tell some of you today, that, you know, I think this message stuck out for me. I think it sticks out for a lot of you. Some of you may not really understand this just yet, but keep this one in your back pocket, because when it happens, I want you to remember. It's very simple. God is grooming some of you for greatness. Oh, I don't know if you feel me. That gets me excited. I'm sorry if it does, because I know some of y'all, you know, God, but no, it's true. You're literally being groomed for greatness right now and handling one of these L's. It is setting you up to take you to another level if you have that character deep down within you. That's what it is. Okay, yeah, you could, I don't know how the mistake happened. I don't know what goes on, but at the end of the day, if your real character is in there, it's going to come out. If you learn how to handle it. I mean, again, I will tell you this. God will not give you more than you can handle. Just think about that. That's always one thing you got to remind yourself. But God is grooming some of you for greatness. That's why you're going through what you're going through. But mainly, this is stages. That's what I want you to understand. You're getting groomed through these stages so you can earn that right, so that it's not going to be like, wow, I made this good decision out of luck. Nah, you learned. You learned something. So there's different stages, and this is what he talked about. There's mundane to militant to the moment. We've talked about this with David. I gave you a whole philo on this, the mundane. The point is handling the basics. That's where you start out. Some of you, you're destined for greatness. You don't get it, though. Why? Because you're still in the same place handling little shit. That's what happened to David. Before he was fighting the giants, he had to learn to simply take care of sheep. That's the mundane. That's the basics. Every day. Can you handle what you have now before it grows? That's the question. Some of you show up, you're like, I will be the best CEO, but you couldn't perform at the lowest level. That's basics. That's mundane. Can you be a blessing even without getting a million things handed to you? Handling the mundane. Can you handle the basics? And then what's the next stage? Some of you, you learn how to handle the basics. That's it. You got that philo. It started making sense. You started getting on the long term. You start saving your money. You started treating whatever minor position you have. You treated the fucking small position like you were the king. You said, I don't care if it's sheep. I don't care if it's minimum wage. I don't care if I have a boss. I'm going to treat it like I own the company. That's a king right there. That's somebody who handles the basics and mundane. That means you're going to another stage. So what happens next? You move into the militant. That's where it gets interesting. Because now you move into actively and strategically handling more. But then what happens? Militant, you have to fight. That means you have to fight these L's. You see, that's the next thing. You handle the mundane. So once you start handling the mundane, you have that strategy to handle bigger things. Because if you can handle small, you can handle big. So then you go into the militant now, because what happens once you learn that, problems will arise every single time. Yes or no? You know this. Every time things are going good, something has to fucking happen. Every time. That's the militant. So how do you respond to that? And this is why I like it so much. Because what do you think comes after this now? Oof. Woo! I hope you know. Do you know what happens after this? It's the moment. Oh. Mundane to militant into the moment. That's what happens next. That's when you're able to take the moment arises for you to take it to the next level. Oh, I don't think you feel that's the moment. You know that? He didn't even David never knew when the moment was coming. Nobody does. Come on. You just wake up one day. There it is. If you handled the first two stages, if that was in your character, that's why I'm telling some of you. I hope you're blessed, man. I hope you're excited. I know you just took a big L. Get militant with it. Strategize. If you can handle that, if you don't go back on the basics, I hope the moment is going to show up. Because that's just the next stage. You have to get that rite to passage. I hope you feel me. Because honestly, that's what happens in between those stages. I hope you guys know it's a hard concept. But this is the best part. You're not going to go back. Never. You feel me, King? I like that. Amen. Because that's what happens. As it was the king, isn't it funny? Every single time David moved up from a level, he never went back. You know that? He started taking care of animals. Okay? He did good at that. And then what was the next thing? He started killing giants. He never went back to taking care of animals. You know that? And then what did he do? He was fighting for the people of Israel at the time when he was like, I'm going to go beat Goliath. He was fighting for his family. And guess what happened? Saul liked David so much, he said, no, I'm making you part of my government. You're going to fight with me. He never saw his family again. Oh, do you see what I'm saying? So I hope you realize once you get these new stages, you don't go back. Everything you lost, I will tell you right now, you didn't need it. Oh, y'all don't feel. I heard that and I was like, damn, that's facts. I've known that, but you got to remind yourself. You didn't need those things to go there, but you needed that to happen so you could take that lesson and build that up into the moment. Let those L's build up into the moment so then you wake up and then, wow, it's game time. Whew. So that's what I'm trying to tell some of you. That the moment is coming. Y'all don't feel me. I love it. The moment is coming, man. I don't. Some of you are crossing over. You were gonna go from taking care of sheep to waking up, and you are gonna be fighting the giant. You won't even know it. Some of you have already defeated the giant, and now you're walking into the realm of leading armies. Oh, but it's there. I like it. So I hope you know when you win, you move into the next level. You know, and again, when the moment arises, you don't know. And if there's one thing I could tell some of you with taking L's and however you're dealing with it, it's very interesting, but sometimes you don't know better until you see it. That's why some of you are taking the L right now. It sucks. But wait until that moment arises. Because watch if you can hang with it. That's the key. For real, though. Because wait till it happens. This was the analogy I heard, and I started laughing. It's great. Have any of you guys ever bought shoes? Like good shoes, but you didn't know you needed better shoes until you wore them? Does that make sense? You know, pun intended, you were walking in shit. That makes sense. You literally were walking in shit. You were wearing these old shoes. While you were wearing them, you're humble, you're meek, you're a great person. You never really felt it. You're like, yeah, I've had these for 10 years. I could keep walking. They get the job done. But then you go into the store one day, you wear a pair of shoes, and you wear it, and you're like, ooh, wow. Do you know what I'm talking about? And then you're like, damn, I didn't even know that these shoes hit like that. It's so much better. What do you end up doing? You literally tell them, no, I'm just going to wear these out. You don't even want to wear the other shoes again. You say, no, just put them in the box, run it up. I'm going to wear these out. Woo. Woo. Do you feel me on that? That's what I'm saying. I think some of you guys coming into this next level, you're not going to know until the moment arises, but you're going to see what happens. You're going to see, because then you're going to try something you're going to try on, and you're not going to realize what you were wearing the whole time. But you needed something to get you there. And if you didn't have the shitty shoes, you probably wouldn't understand the better shoes. Oh, it's a good one. I like it. So some of you are going to come into something so much better and you don't even realize it. You won't even want to go back. So I hope in any way, the final moment, the final thing that was discussed here in my notes from this sermon. Again, this isn't mine. I told you, this is just what I listened to yesterday. And I was like, man, it's so applicable. All I had to do is write some of these notes and what stuck out to me. This isn't even me telling you anything of mine. Isn't that crazy? I think it's the craziest part of all of it. And it said, finally, just don't let your pride get in the way. Don't let your doubts get in the way. Stop clinging on to the past. I hope you're ready to move into something new. Because, again, with the story of David, what eventually happened as he moved into his next level, Jonathan ended up giving him his sword. Jonathan prepared him. Jonathan was Saul's son and prepared him for the kingship. He groomed him essentially too for even that next level. He gave him his sword. He gave him his robe, all of that. And what it was even saying at that next level, that was somebody just being straight honest with him. Just hooking it up to him, being more vulnerable per se. So what does that mean? Don't let your pride get in the way of this next level as well. As you start to go, you start to be more successful. As you enter in, you wear those new shoes, you get that new battle. That is something you should take with there. Don't let your pride stop that. Just think about that. But all in all, man, we got some levels here. And I hope you took some of these L's for a very, very good reason. And I hope some of you are excited. And I hope your doubt and negativity doesn't get in the way. If you want to know why this happened, I don't know if I could give a sweeping answer to say it happened for a reason, but I do know if you are able to have the character to use this, it is going to, your moment is right around it's understanding the process of things. And that's what I'm excited about because I feel it and I can see it. That's why I'm saying there's such a weird with dreams and everything this week. It's like, damn, there's something to be excited about. So I hope you guys are excited. And I hope you're ready for that level. And I hope that these demons and devils don't let the minor loss right now take that from you. Is what I'm trying to tell you. Because you could get mad about it. You could get sad about it. You could go fall back. You could explain this. You could doubt. You could go fall back into your old behavior. But I think you got some new shoes coming. I think some of you are going to kind of wear them. And you have to learn to wear those without wanting to go back. You got to keep moving. So I hope you're ready. And I hope a lot of you are ready for some of your moments. And don't forget the mundane or the militant either, baby. But you know what you need to do. Take that to the bank. But that is your philosophy, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you guys are subscribed. We're live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open. Drop your thumbs up on the video. You're on mobile. Press hi chat. X out the chat. Hit the thumbs up button. Second link for the Nightly Watch This main channel. First link for the Scream Alerts boot camp and real estate course. Follow me on Instagram at The Trading Fraternity. Keep it positive and respectful. I love you all. God bless you. Get ready for the moment. I'm just waiting on my moment. Beautiful.